written about the Latino experience in the American Southwest of really the 1850s, around in that area, shortly before and shortly after the signing of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, and essentially collaged some poems out of that. And so this is essentially what that is. The ones that I'm reading tonight will probably be more of the one section itself. A short history of the preposition. That's one thing to mention about the book, is that there's actually, it's centered around, because it's language, a short history of the article, a short history of the preposition, a short history of the conjunction, and so on and so forth. So, a short history of the preposition, a collage of lines from speaking for themselves. Full of sweet and sad rapture, I roam the space of my memory. Jose Escobar, 1892. Before contact of Edenic pastures, of myth to learn refuge, of everything cast adrift, from the early colonial period, of kinship, of New Spain broke down as rich and poor alike, in simple adobe, in which song, in which verse, in which narrative, of passing knowledge in remote Spanish colonies, to the clergy of the Holy Office of the Inquisition, of heretical beliefs, to such texts, of how to read them, in which narrative, in which song, of the conditions in which people live in this manner in 1826, of the printing press, the word, after New Mexico became a state, after the American invasion under Colonel Stephen W. Kearny, only one teacher, under the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo and the U.S. Constitution, of statehood and granting it, of the rights in 1848, from the treachery of words to those who called language home, in the mountains and valleys where they lived, in blonde wood, in air and flames, like the landscape we erupt. The next poem, essentially, I've tried to go back. The history of my family on my mom's side is very, it's very clear to the extent that it can be, and on my father's side, it's not very clear at all. So I actually found some census material going back that locates some of my relatives, and so they sort of make an appearance in the poem. Effortless palinodes of history, a commentary and recollection. It is necessary here in the space of a poem to mobilize all the self's forces. Eduardo Gasson. The weakness of many men is that they neither know how to become as the field or tree becomes. To become in the shadow of the Douglas fir's stand, the vulnerable bird's body, folding its flight into night's dark page. And why wouldn't they question the dead empire's spires the bird perches on? And why wouldn't they question the world a little more littered this morning? If an intention of an oeuvre is at liberty to be legitimized, the book examined by its light and its shadow, Gasson reminds, then why not the foothill of aspen, its etymology? Why not its narrative, the people that whoso loved living near the flora, hunting for wild mint, waiting in the stream bed, neither stagnated nor putrefied the land, that whoso loved it, lived it, and in living inked its ardor. What matters for the moment then, these words, the recollection of wild mint on my tongue, these 30 years later? Memory is a little known silt. It runs, is deposited, but it is still us as it stills us. We catalog for ourselves the richness of these banks only to become, and in becoming make a compendium. Surname, given name, age, county. Leger, Arcadio, 46, San Miguel County. Leger, Vasimiana Corina, 12, San Miguel County. Argon, Abel, 45, San Miguel County. Argon, Blas, 18, San Miguel County. What matters then for the moment, this history, the recollection of language on my tongue these 30 years later? When I become, I continue by opening the landscape, inflorescence on the road to Peña Baca, Highway 159 and Silver Canyon above Mogollon, Cyanthium on the West Tortugas Mountain, of what I write, of the ranch where we brush against the indelible scar of the errance and natural isolation, Of the roots I earth sent rain. What remains to be written escapes despite myself. Thank you.